Only thing wrong with the day so far. I ain't had me a chance to whoop nothing.
You know.
Having enough keisters to wail on regular like.
Side with me.
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the TransArt BWM-13 Vice Poison Battler. And this is their take on a Quickstrike from the Beast Wars. And will it kick some keister? We'll find out about that here in just a little bit. But I did get this at Shozy. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. TH reviewer code and all that good stuff, please. But anyway, looking at this, it does some things well. It does some really strange... They had some weird ideas on this. But we're going to talk about this. The good, the bad, coming up. Taking a quick look at the box. It looks very TransArt-y. If TransArt-y is the word, TransArt-y is the word. There's the alt mode drawn in on the back. Vice, poison, metal, jungle, and yeah, gets the job done. Here is the figure right out of the package, and I've got to say, just overall, just looking at it right here, it does capture the character very well. This is exactly what he looks like in the show, and for that, I'm going to give him a massive bravo for capturing the likeness of the character very well. And of course, I love the Vac Metal, which is one of the... Here's the thing. If they didn't do Vac Metal, I don't think I'd be buying as much from this company. But they do the Vac Metal on every figure, it seems like. And it is fantastic. Actually, I got what I think might be the first one. That Transmutate. I got that one. And I always liked it. It was a good price. So, yeah, Vac Metal on the back of that there, too. So, Vac Metal all the way through on this. And it is kind of strange because there's a differentiation between the Vac Metal and then some other paint on other areas, which on the hand here, actually in the show, the colors do look a little different from the show, from this part to that. So I don't know, that's weird. But I would have thought they would have still Vac Metalized the lower legs, but they only have so much they can Vac Metal because they have to paint on top of that. So what this here is painted on top of Vac Metal, and what here down here is cast in that color. So there is a slight mismatch to the yellowish, very slight. I mean, I got it really close. They did a pretty good job on it. So with that, and then some strange use of materials. So we'll get into this materials. This looks like, and if you look at it, it looks like ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint. And in my opinion, they could have just made the same piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? And then they could have just had ball joints. So they could have just used that same mold. I don't know if that would have been worked okay in the mold or whatever, but they could have just had 5 of those in there, had ball joints, and that would have held better. But they used bendy wire, and I'll do a bendy wire comparison here in just a second. And with that, it doesn't hold place as well. But it is interesting because you can get a little bit more organic poses than you would with the ball joints. But it's strange, isn't it? Well, he does have articulation on his, what was it, cobra mouth? Yeah, so that's kind of cool. There's a little gun in there. I don't know if I can move that out. There's no movement in it. And the weird thing is this is hard plastic here, and this is the bendy wire. And then it also has the, somewhere in here I saw like the 2 holes where they inject and they put in the wire. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get into articulation. The guy looks good, but how does he articulate? I'm not articulate. I kick keister. Well, you articulate. Okay, head side to side, head up and down, and that's about it. And these little sharp pieces seem to rub each other, so I might be scraping some of that beautiful Vac Metal off. Pop the shoulder pad off, which is on a ball joint, so that's not a big deal. Pop it right back on. Kind of seeing how much range I can get out of this. So he goes up to here. This does not go. This is not a ball joint on this side. And then down to here, and then 360 on that joint there. We do have the bicep swivel, and we have an elbow. And let me see here. It's weird. It's almost reverse double jointed. It's reverse double jointed. It doesn't double joint up all the way, but it double joints in. Maybe if I can flip this out, I have it. No, okay, I had it backwards. Did I have it backwards? Anyhow, It's you can move it around however you want. This here articulates all around, all different directions, and then closes in and out. So kind of cool. I mean, you can pretty much do everything you want with that arm. A waist swivel, no ab crunch, but waist swivel, and then that head out of the way there, all the way out here, front and back. You have swivel at the knee, and then little double jointed knee. Great job on the double jointed knee. And he does a lot with this too for the transformation. And then his foot side to side, up and down. So, is it great articulation? It's not bad. I mean, what more would he need? Ab crunch? I don't think he really needs it, but yeah, works. So the only toy line I feel like used the bendy wire idea and did a good job was Arco Otherworld. They actually have human-looking figures that look okay. They look good and can hold their weapons, and kind of, it just feels sort of like an actual toy line. And just kind of comparing them side to side. I mean, I've got the bendy wire in these guys, and yeah, I still, even though this toy line's pretty cool, I'm not a fan of the bendy wire at all. All right, so getting comparisons in here. Let's just do some Beast Wars comparisons, starting out with Dinobot and Optimus Primal. That works. Most of my TransArt stuff is in alt mode, so I will be doing those comparisons here in a bit. But yeah, this is kind of like early Beast Wars. This is later Beast Wars. They mix and mesh slightly. I think I just ordered a TransArt. Is it like the third version of Dinobot they're making? Something like that. Anyway, a TransArt Dinobot. I think I just pre-ordered one. And there he is as like a general masterpiece measuring stick. This is a Masterpiece Prime. Magic Square. So this transformation is really strange. And bear with me. I'm going to try to make it easy and fast. But you want to get his face out of the way here. We're going to separate this guy and move the shoulder pads out of the way so that we can get this. And it slides like right here. You can kind of push on these, and that's going to slide this out. And then from here, we are going to pivot some of this stuff out. We have to get the head out of the way, and let's move this up. There we go. We are going to move these pieces through here, and we're going to flatten all that out, and then that's kind of the goal. It's not the first step, but I think it's easy just to get it out of the way. So move it up and past the head for that. Same thing on here. Maybe I should turn the head to the side for each one and just get it out. There we go. We'll mess with more of that later. So now we've got it into this. We are going to rotate the waist, make it a little bit easier, lift that up. Now we're going to get into the lower legs. So we kind of want to get something along the lines of this going on here. So flip this around. Something like that. Now we're going to come back around here, and we are going to end up, what we're going to do is we need to get this head slid over. Oh, maybe I should have slid this head over like this before I try to get those pieces out. That would have made more sense. That's where I went wrong with that. Anyhow, yeah, that would have gotten the pieces out much easier. All right, now what we are going to do is try to rotate all of this, but we're gonna move some stuff around. Got to clear all of this as we rotate it. Let's get these pads out of the way, like so, and we're gonna rotate it this direction. And then we need to get these legs positioned properly. Now you're going to see that you can just grab onto this and push up, and it will kind of go up into it like that. And that makes that easy. Or it was easy for me. And then the tail is going to come around, do whatever it does. And then just kind of cleaning all this up. I think this is aligned just right. Get it in there like so for the back piece. I got to look and see if I have these positioned just right. And when you get in these Beast Wars modes, like I don't know if that's exactly what they wanted it to look like. But it's pretty close. I'm going to go compare this to the pictures and stuff, make sure it's just right. But yeah, there it is. All right, so it turns out that we did have it right, except these shoulder pieces are supposed to be covers. So they're kind of up here, so you just got to rotate them down to cover the gap filler kind of thing. And so with that, just look at the picture, because we don't get instructions, we get QR codes. And so if you have a question in the middle of a transformation on video, you just have to deal with it. And that's how you deal with it. Anyhow, it looks good. This is exactly what I would think of a Quickstrike in his alt mode. The coming of this Fusor is coming together just fine. That probably could go into place a little bit better. Of course, I don't like rubbing vac metal against vac metal. That's nothing fun about that whatsoever. But yeah, he does look good. He does look pretty good. Now, these legs are not articulated. They are of kind of a rubbery substance. They're not rubber wire kind of thing like this guy is, but it's not really intended to support it. It's just for looks. It's just for looks. And he doesn't really roll his slides. Yeah. Boss bot. I'm short. Yeah, he's really short in his mode. But yeah, it fits the character. It looks really good. I like the vac metal. I like the colors. I mean, really, the orange, I never was a fan of orange on this dude, but the crazy colors they've got, they work well. They really do work well. If it works and fits the character. The bottom actually looks pretty interesting, too. Looks pretty good. Good looking figure overall. Fits the character. Works really well. You can use his opening and closing mouth gimmick to just look crazy. But this is where I wish they would have had an accessory. So this should shoot something out, or you should be able to plug something in, or have some interaction with that. I mean, one accessory would have been nice with this guy for $65 price point. But aside from that, I mean, it really does fit the character. If that's what you want, it's definitely doing the job. Well, what articulation does this guy have? The tail can go side to side. This can go side to side and get it positioned. And if you want it, that's pretty much the best you're going to get out of it. Trying to go much higher or lower, and it's just going to kind of go back into that spot, or just go kind of way off kilter there. And then these legs here, of course, articulate because the hand articulates, and but you're not going to get much stuff going on here. I mean, if you wanted to use these to prop him up, you could prop him up a little bit, I guess. If that's the thing that you want. I think he looks better flat. And then you do have everything going on with all of this. His head going up and down. But you can put the arms and hands, whichever configuration that you think would be best. And that works too. It's all the same articulation going on right there. But you can get a wide grip stance, or he can hold something. So there's a lot that you can do with it. And it really works. It looks good. And truth be told, I think most of my TransArt ones, I keep them in alt mode. We'll see that here in comparisons. Here's next to Cheetor, which is my favorite of these TransArts so far. And people said to push the knees into the arm to make this more stable. I tried that during transformation. It felt like it was too hard, but I gave it a good old shove after like 3 or 4 people said to do it. And it took it. It didn't break or anything. It felt like it was going to break by doing that, but it gives it a lot more stability. And with that, I guess I'm glad I shoved it all up in there. But yeah, looking good. I'm in on everything TransArt going forward for the most part. I wish I would have picked up the Optimus Primal, but Optimal Optimus, whatever. But as they get reissued, I'll pick them up because this is a really great line. Here's Tarantulas. I mean, just look at all that vac metal. It looks great. Did get all these at Show Z because really good price on them. Great looking figures. They look awesome. They're not perfect though. I mean, even like this one here, this doesn't want to tab in right there very well. But we've got, here's Rat Trap looking fantastic. But you know, the panel for his belly came untabbed while I was messing with this, and just had to kind of redo that. Maybe that needs to tab in better too. Still, they look fantastic. They're trying to hit a moderate price point for masterpiece figures for the Transmetal, which I think there's less people that want Transmetal than the original Beast Wars, although Transmetal appeals to me the most. I mean, so there's pluses, minuses. I bet these are smaller production runs too, but I love all these figures, and I'm going to keep going with them. Here is Spider Lady, and yeah, it's a different take on Black Arachnia. Looks pretty good too, but see, look at the difference here. This is a different company that's making this one, and there's no vac metal on it versus the vac metal, so you just kind of think like the difference in this. Although this looks good, it's got like a metallic paint instead of vac metal, so there's the difference. Anyway, overall, fits with all these. Alright, so what do I think of this guy? What do I think of this Quickstrike? Well, I think he's a good looking figure. He works, gets the job done. I like him. I'm not a fan of the Infinity Wire tail, but it's okay. It's not horrible. It's not the end of the world, and that's fine. I like the vac metal. I wish they would have had some sort of accessory like projectile or something with it, but that's just really quibbling over just some minor details. It's a great looking figure, and really, who else is going to make this character? Will this character get made by any other company ever? Probably not. Probably not for another 10 years if it does. But with that, it's cool that it exists. They did a good job with it, and I like the vac metal. So anyway, I did get this to Show Z. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours too. Like and subscribe, and Tydirium Hanger out.
Well then, partner, let's head him up and move him out.
Hey! I gotta do all the work around here!
Tell me, Megatron.
Boss bot? Well, he's done okay leading us so far. In fact, my only complaint is not... that sounds good. Destruction better than construction. You get my drift? But if you're lying, Spider Bot, yours will be the first keister I drop kick. Better save it for later, Big T. We got trouble brewing outside.
Terrorize! You claim to be the toughest of us all, Snake, but you have done little to prove it.